Hi, Paul Slackers, Good News Planet. I'm speaking to Kelsey Nixon. Hi, Kelsey. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about yourself?
Okay, I'm doing fantastic. I'm getting to talk to you. We're going to talk about Moderation Nation, and we're going to talk about Hershey's. And God, boy, I'm very lucky.
Well,
so
good.
tell us a
Always
little
a good
bit.
thing to be talking about chocolate, right?
Oh my God, is it? And I know you guys have a beautiful event here in New York at the Hershey store in Times Square, and Kelsey is she knows how to cook, and she has a show called Kelsey's Essentials. It's on the Good what's it called? The Good Life? No. What's your channel?
Cooking
Channel.
That's
well,
right.
Complicated. All right. So tell us good things that are happening.
Well,
Today.
It's really awesome. This whole concept of Hershey's Moderation Nation is something I've partnered with Hershey's this year. It's kind of this go-to source for balanced lifestyle tips and kind of tools to teach people how to enjoy well-being every day. So whether that's something like taking a few extra minutes to sit down and play with your kids, or something like learning how to make a savory treat during the holidays that's actually kind of perfectly portioned so that you don't overdo it and you're not overindulging on some of those favorite treats that you have through the holidays. So I'm the cooking guru. This Moderation Nation is made up with these different Good Life gurus, and I'm lucky enough to be involved with delicious recipes and things like that, and kind of focus on this idea of balanced eating and kind of condensing things down into smaller portions for the perfect bite.
Okay, and that's, I guess, how they got the word moderation. I think from the Greeks.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of not depriving yourself, especially during the holidays. The holidays are meant to be enjoyed, and I think everyone deserves to have pie and brownies and hot chocolate and whatever it is you enjoy, with your family during the holidays. But I've come up with some really fun recipes that kind of pare these down into smaller portions. And like one of the things I like to do is use smaller vessels. So whether you're using a shot glass to build a little brownie bite in, or little mason jars to bake miniature pies in, it's a great way to kind of help control that portion, and at the same time the presentation looks really kind of fun and celebratory, and it ends up almost being kind of a talking point for those that you're entertaining, whether it's family or friends. It's just so darn cute, and at the same time you're enjoying something that's really delicious.
You know what? I experienced that last night because I had a smaller, I love these, I live on the Upper West Side, so I go to Save Bars. They have great apple pie, all right? I've been buying it for years and years. I like to bring it, and it's a regular-sized pie, except I do have a roommate now. The roommate bought a small, from Fairway, small cherry pie, like a little one, but me, I'm a big eater, so I always buy a big pie. But we had this, and she went away, and she said, I have this pie here, and I have a buddy of mine that's staying over, and ice cream, and she said, you guys can have that pie, right? But it's a small pie, but it was kind of unique. I felt like I was at a party. You really are right on with that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's a really, especially during the holidays. Like I said, when you're going to multiple parties, between now and the end of the year, and you're going to get the opportunity to, down that glass of eggnog or hot cocoa or pie here, cake there. It's better to kind of pace yourself out. And if you're hosting a party, I think it's a great idea to kind of look into some of these recipes that show you how to perfectly portion, if you will, a little dessert bite. It's fun, and I think your guests will be impressed.
I have, talking about small portions and talking about chocolate, okay, there's a famous artist in America. His name is Will Barnett, okay? One of America's legends. And so at about 90, I believe it was, when I was interviewing him, I said, so what's your secret? And he said, I have a piece of dark chocolate every day. So
I love that. And, it's crazy. I think that's amazing, It helps that there's research that's been coming out talking about all of the health benefits of dark chocolate as well, with those antioxidants. So there should be no guilt when you pop that piece of dark chocolate into your mouth after a long day. I'm a big fan of that.
There we go. So what are some good food recipes that you have, or other ideas?
So you can find my perfectly portioned recipes, if you will, at themoderationnation.com, and I've got some really fun ones. I've got these really fun maple cream chocolate brownie shots where I talked about using a shot glass, and I layer a brownie with some fresh whipped cream that's been sweetened with a little bit of pure maple syrup and then some toffee bits, and then I've got a really great pumpkin pie that's baked in a little mason jar, so once again, that perfectly portioned size. And things like turkey pops. We've got Thanksgiving right around the corner, and if you've got kids and you're looking for something to really kind of draw them in, it's a really fun way to incorporate cake and into the perfect little bite, and you decorate them like turkeys for the holidays. It'd be great activity for your kids next week, and it tastes fantastic as well.
Weren't they giving? I don't know. When I went into the Hershey store, I thought that I had one of those maple tasting. They were serving them in the store. Is that could that be correct?
Well, I don't know if they've been serving them up until now, but I do know that we're serving them today. so it's really great to see you there, and I can guarantee you can have another one of those maple brownie shots. They are delicious. I love kind of doing whipped cream like that during the holidays. I think it is a wonderful nod to the great fall flavors like maple. And, it's nice to use a product like pure maple syrup. And then the brownies, gosh, they're delicious. We actually use, you never know, in fact, I shouldn't even tell you, we're using applesauce instead of butter or extra oil in the recipe, and it makes those brownies really extra moist and dense, but yet you're eliminating calories at the same time. So it's a great nod to the moderation as well, where you're getting something delicious but still saving a few calories.
Tell us about. Can you tell us a good brownies recipe? People love brownies, don't they?
Oh, they do. I think everyone needs to have a great brownie recipe. It's like one of those essentials, and I talk about essentials on my show all the time. It's kind of one of those recipes that every home cook should have in their back pocket. And this recipe is great. I use Hershey's cocoa powder, which I love. And it's one of those pantry staples everyone should have on hand. I mean, you can use it from everything from making hot cocoa to using it in brownies. And I think there's only 10 calories per serving. So it's a great way to get all of that chocolatey flavor into a dessert without having to kind of get too much in there. And my recipe is super simple. It's, like I said, you got the applesauce. You got the cocoa powder, you got your dry ingredients, your wet ingredients, you mix them all together. You don't even need a mixer. You can just stir it all together, bake them off. It's a great thing to rely on during the holidays when it comes to dessert.
You're big on gadgets, right? In the
well, I do, yeah.
kitchen,
I
right?
like my show focuses on an essential tip, tool, or technique with every episode. So I'm always looking for those essentials that I think everyone should have on hand in the kitchen.
How about the pan that you cook in? I mean, so you get them so they come out nice? Do you like butter the pan, or what do you do? Do you get one of those pans that don't stick? What do you do?
Well, gosh, it depends on the specific dessert, but I don't think there's any shame or anything wrong with using a nice non-stick spray for baking during the holidays. It's buttering a pan like that is, you're putting more calories in, which, there's a time and a place, and there's nothing wrong with that. But particularly with this brownie recipe, I like to use a nonstick spray, and that helps to remove those brownies super easily. In my brownie shot recipe, I end up cutting up those brownies into small 1 by 1 inch little bites that I can layer. And another thing I like to do that makes it easier to remove them from the pan is after spraying the pan, if you lay down a piece of parchment paper that kind of is long enough that it goes over the edges, once it comes out of the oven, you can just lift those up and literally remove the brownies straight from the pan and cut them that way. And I think that's a great tip to have.
All right, 2 other quick things, because I know you have a busy day.
Sure.
Do you then, to know whether it's done, are you a toothpick person to find out whether it's still moist or whether it's too long in the oven?
Absolutely. I do it all the time. Learned it from my mother, who learned it from her mother. I'm a big fan of the cake tester rule, and I think a toothpick is absolutely sufficient.
There you go. Last question, then. What's good news for Kelsey?
What's good news for me? Oh, God.
Yes.
Well, I had a baby this year, and so that is
Yay!
one of the greatest things ever. And so this is my first holiday season with the newest member of our family, and we are just eating him up, no pun intended. But that paired with good cooking this holiday season, I think it's going to make it the best one yet.